And as usual, it is a usual day in the world of UG fixing and tinkering. Hello to you all. This is the day I get this car finally on the road. I thought I'd do some cleaning up. Over the last couple of episodes at least, I've been going around the car panel by panel, polishing. I've obviously wet sanded. I've been polishing, cleaning the little areas that need looking at. The only part of the car that I haven't bothered with is the boot, because we're going to spray the boot, so there's no point in doing too much. I have polished up to the point where I think it needs respraying over the top. And as you can see, I am battling with the strips. Now the side strips, the side mouldings, the trim, that silver trim is part of the moulding, can't remove it. So you have to stick the new 12mm sticky silver strips that I've just put on there. You need to put that over the top. You need to clean the surface completely. You need to remove that surface preferably. I actually couldn't on the passenger side, but as you've just seen on the back bumper, it's starting to crack off a little bit, that nasty surface. I'm just going to rip this off. I'm not actually going to put a silver strip on because this bumper needs a lot of work. There's a lot of overspray paint previously. It is far better than what it was, but I'm still seeing flecks of white paint everywhere. Now obviously we're going to be painting in this area anyway, but it's going to be covered up properly this time. But we're going to make a good job of it. I'm going to be getting the paint thinners out and a scourer, Scotch-Brite pad, and getting that bumper really clean, because it isn't great. So I thought I'd rip this strip off. The first thing that we want to do is just make a little indentation with a pick, as you've just seen, and start pulling. I'll show you that just now. This is the only thing that I wanted to do. I don't want the car going out like this. The car is taxed, the car is insured, she's ready to go, and we have done something else in the last couple of days. She looks an absolute treat, doesn't she? Ignore that. Can I just cover that bit up? That's it. Just blur that out with my hand. It's looking good, and as you may have noticed, we have some new tyres as per the tread wear indicators that are only found on brand new tyres. Yeah, we have 4 new tyres. Now guys, my recommendation, quite honestly, with tyres is buy the best you can afford. I've always gone for middle of the range. Expensive tyres for me are pointless exercise. They are a waste of money unless you drive like Lewis Hamilton or Colin McRae. And in this sort of car, do you think I'm going to be doing that? No, not really. You could go for middle of the range tyre. For the correct tyre size for these are 155 70/13s. They did change it later on, but the early Mark III Fiestas wear that size of tyre only. So that's the correct one, and I've gone with the correct one. The joke was when I actually took all 4 tyres and took them in Beatrix down to the tyre shop that I've used a few times because their prices are very competitive, considering what I paid for all 4 of these to be balanced and new weights put on. The guy at the tyre shop asked me, "Are these for a trailer?" And I said, no, it's definitely for a car. They're that small. I suspect tyre shops are just not used to tyres that thin and small. It's just ridiculous with quite a big wall. Yeah, they're not used to that sort of tyre, but this is definitely a tyre made for comfort. Ironically, that is what these tyres are called. I have gone for the best tyres that I can afford at this moment in time. Budgets. Oh dear, I can hear the naysayers saying a few things about this. You're going to be crashing into a tree in this car. Why would you put budgets on such a nice car? I don't drive like Colin McRae, and I think it's worth a try seeing how good budget tyres actually are, considering I don't have that much more money, because all my money is going to several different things, and it will be going into paint soon. So it's a bit of a compromise, these tyres. I need to get better tyres than 15-year-old, 20-year-old relics. So I'm pretty sure these are going to be a vast improvement. How long they last is how long is a piece of string. But the main thing is they're decent tyres now. These will last. I hope that these budget tyres will last 4 or 5 years. And for those of you who are interested in what these tyres are, they are Landvigator Comfort 2. Landvigator Comfort 2. Completely unknown Chinese brand. No, I've actually seen good reviews of this tyre, strangely enough. I did a little bit of a research and is thinking, right, if I'm going to go for a budget tyre, what ones am I going to go for? Let's have a look at some of the reviews. And there's more reviews for this than a lot of tyres. There was this and Tiger tyres, but Tiger tyres have pretty much been decent tyres throughout the ages, but I don't know if that's still the case these days. I've heard some really weird stories about them, but it all depends on how you drive. And I don't drive like Kyle McRae. It's an automatic. It's a nice, slow, smooth car, and I'm not going to be driving it in the wet, only if I get caught in it coming back from a show. Apart from that, this car is going to be driven in the dry. So you buy the tyres to suit your needs and your budget, and it suits my needs and budget. Whether maybe another owner may want to drive it in the wet, well, that's their choice, but I wouldn't want to drive this car in the wet, trust me. It's too nice. Honestly, what is going on with ladybirds? They keep finding me in the house, they're on my car, they're inside the car. Jesus Christ. But on that subject, she's probably just admiring my work. As you can see, I've stuck it over the top. The old finish is still there. It doesn't look brilliant, but you can't do anything about it, I'm afraid, guys. So you just have to clean it with spirits, key the surface with some sandpaper, and then stick these over the top. And I tell you what, I'm going to do the reveal in a second. I'm not happy with the way that is. I think I didn't do this as thoroughly. The problem is, the original trim has like a contoured surface, so it's not completely flat. But I'll tell you something, these strips, you try pulling these strips off, you will pull the strip off, but you'll leave the backing foam stuck to the trim. That's how thorough I've been, and that happened once. I basically made a rough cut, I think it was on this door, and I cut it too short, and I was like, oh bugger, I've got to start again. So I had to rip it off, and I ripped the trim off, but the foam was still attached to the trim. That's a very good sign. The back one and the front bumper are completely different. So they basically are stuck down. As you can see, this is the actual inner piece that has just started to crack off as I broke the bond. And I'll just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. But look at that. That is how bad it's just, there's nothing left of it. But it basically inserts into this, and this is part of the, I think this is clipped into the bumper. So I just want to take this out because we've got a lot of rubbish behind here. We have done a really good job with the valance. So the valance has polished up really, really nicely. I will go over it again, but it's all the same. But yeah, this is going to be sanded down at some point, but it will look rubbish for now, but it's functional and it won't rust as it is. I've got a new, as I say, I got a new sticker. I've had to take the rails off just to inspect the inside, and as we can see, I think this is the worst bit down here where the seam seal has just started to crack, and we've got some bubbling going on, but I've put some rust converter on that. The bonnet has been completely polished up to an absolute T. Looks as if it's been resprayed. It has come up so good, it's untrue. The valance has come up. There's no rust marks around the wiper spindles no more. Look at that. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And all the windows have been polished using auto glim glass polish, including the sunroof. It looks amazing. And the reflections, look at me. I can actually see myself. Not once have you been able to see me in the windows of this car. I know the car cover's been on partly, most of it, but you couldn't see me. The only thing I'm annoyed about is polish stains, but this wasn't me, I can assure you. Someone else has been in here, and I've got to try and see if I can get the polish back off the surface, because that looks rubbish. This rail on the driver's side, I'm getting another one because the end cap had snapped. It literally just integrated as soon as I took it off. The passenger side is fine. These are going to be off the car now for some time. Anyway, it's starting to get a bit dirty towards the end there, but at least it's clean and the water can sort of flush itself out completely. The main idea is I'm going to spray off, once I've got a new one, well, a second-hand one of these that isn't snapped, and that one, I'm going to spray them satin black. I'm going to go back and spray them up because they've gone so grey, it's untrue. A lot of cars have a really bad plastic trim from this age, and the plastics do age really badly. I think that's the difference between 80s and 90s cars, that the plastics just don't come up very well. Even my Auto Gleam vinyl and rubber care has not responded to that on this trim, and certainly not on the rails. And several cars I've seen from this period suffer from this sort of issue. The boot I've polished up to about the corner, sort of here and here, but this is obviously the damage area that we're going to sort out. As you saw in the last video, we had a rot there, but there's no rot underneath this seal, so I'm very, very happy with that. But it will be cleaned out. I'm going to dry sand it down. It's going to be covered up. That's going to be taken out. I've got to paint that anyway. That'll be taken out again. I will obviously show you guys what sort of quality fiberglass has gone on, because that is definitely, someone's done like a fiberglass, maybe it was a mesh, I don't know, but someone's put some fiberglass and then filled it, but it's not smooth. It's not smooth. It needs to be smoothed out again, and I will do that as much as I can to just lessen the cost of paint work. I think that's the main thing here. I know that it needs to be done. Let's lessen the cost of that. I'm going to have a go at the arches myself. This side, well, I'll come to that. We'll grind that back and see what's there. I suspect that what we're looking at is slight loss of metal that needs skimming. And obviously this, you know, it's the usual. As you saw, there was some rust. I've converted the inside. There's no rust under there no more. It's all stabilized. But what I do with this is very tricky, because we're looking at 1, 2, 3. Well, we've got a bit of wear here, but I might just ignore the door, just accept that. So if we cut off the door, it's 3 panels. Blending that in will be very, very difficult, and I think that's what somebody tried to do with this and did it very, very poorly. But as you can see, I've cleaned the glass headlights. They've come up an absolute treat. They just sparkle like anything. The two-tone paint now looks like paint instead of some nasty substance. I've just overspray a polish there, but you know, it will keep looking better and better and better. As you saw in the last episode, you know, the car is utterly solid underneath now. It really is looking an absolute piece, and it's started to look like the car it should be on the surface. The only thing that you do start noticing, I'm afraid, and I'm just going to come out the sun a little bit, is you can see, yeah, we've got a bit of a, you can't see it as much on camera, but we've got a bit of an indentation there where my finger is, and one there. We saw that before, but this has come out because obviously polish has revealed a good surface, and what it does is it reveals everything else as well. But that's annoying, but it's fine. I can live with that. It's patina. I'll tell you something. I don't know whether, no, it won't actually show you, but there's an awful lot of orange peel on these doors, and I'll tell you something. Do I think it's been resprayed? Nah, not at all. I don't think so. I think if it was a respray, it was too neat. This is definitely factory. 100% is that a factory finish. Tons of orange peel. That probably means they've slapped it on too much, and it's confirmed by what you can see underneath the back bumper, because this, look at this, it's just literally dripped like that in the factory. That is a factory paint. It was literally just slapped on completely. There's no there was no precision whatsoever, and the engine bay looks just as good. So just that badge has come up so nicely. A bit of patina, I love it. And now you might have noticed something I've done since the last episode, or at least the last few. What's happened to the blue coolant? Yeah, well, there was a bit of a funny thing that happened there. Basically, when I started it the last few times off camera, that blue coolant started to turn a bit murky. And what I suspect is that it's actually disturbed some gunge or something in the system that has needed to be removed, and it turned the water into a light brown colour. And I know what people are going to say. You check the head gasket. Yep, no problems. It holds its temperature very nicely, doesn't overheat, and it doesn't overboil. It's absolutely fine. There's no issues with that whatsoever. And there's no real sign of oil inside the bottle. There's actually just flecks of rust and dirt. But what I've done is I've drained the water twice now. I've actually drained the coolant and I drained it again. And I've been topping up with deionized water. I know that's a bit risky at this time of the year, but we've had some absolutely amazing weather, as you could probably pick up with my stupid camera. Doesn't like the sunlight. So that's all topped up, and the levels stayed the same. We're not losing any oil on the dipstick. It's absolutely amazing. This engine is not burning any oil, at least on the driveway. But we're going to find out how good it actually is. So I'm going to shut this bonnet, and the idea is to keep an eye on everything. But that's what I've been doing. I'm just going to continue ripping this off, and I just want it absolutely off the car, and then we can take this for a drive and get out of here. Well, what I am going to suggest is that this is a two-parter. Preparation and then the drive. You know what I'm like. But I just wanted to show you everything that I've been doing to this car. This finish is just... it's terrible. Just be careful you don't actually scratch the bumper, because this can slip. Come on. So that's what I've been doing, and it's coming together really, really nicely now. But there will be forwards, we'll be going forwards and then we'll be going backwards. That's kind of the way with older cars, really. Oh God, this is really difficult, really difficult. You are going to need some brake cleaner, and what I'm going to do is I'm hopefully just going to hook this out. Get your hand in behind. Once you get your hands in, pull it. It might snap. Come on. Please, please. Come on, you little scraper. There we go. One rubbish trim, and this is the piece that sits in the bumper. Managed to get rid of a lot of foam there. This is really tough stuff, this foam, I'll tell you. Does anybody like ASMR? This is so satisfying to watch. Oh, the skin's just fallen off. Look at my neck. Oh, the skin, like the silvery finish. Ugh. I do apologise if some of the lighting is quite bright. It's extremely sunny today, and I want to put this strip on and then take this car for a drive. By the way guys, next episode will be coming up on the same day. I'm not that cruel of me getting this car out. God help me, I have no idea what's going to happen. Anyway, let's get this back strip on. Now I have this strip. Now this is off eBay. It is 12mm silver chrome strip. It is identical to the original strip, and it fits absolutely like a glove. All you have to do, I would say, take a rough measurement of the whole length, cut it oversize, and then start trimming it down when you come to the edge. So start with one side. So what you do is you insert it, and then you just keep sticking it all the way around, and it will sit like a glove. The main thing is the preparation, and we've done that. Most of that, there's only a minute amount, and that's not enough to cause adhesion problems. The surface is really nice now. I've just cleaned it up. By the way guys, what is in that bottle, that is paint thinners. Okay, that is thinners. It is a degreaser. Thinners are a degreaser. So you can use white spirit or whatever you want to use. So let's get this on. Now what you might need to do, by the way, is get a pick to just separate the tape off the foam, because otherwise you'll find it really difficult to sort of pick the end. So you really do need this pick to get you going. So once you've sort of picked it out, there you go, it's already gone. There we go, see, done. Broken. And then we can just insert this. It doesn't matter what shape this is, because it's going to insert into here. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to cut the ends off at an angle. So just take a good length. Remember, just keep pulling it every so often. Don't make it too long, because we don't want this stuff sticking to stuff it doesn't want to. So just insert, there we go, in, and just start sticking it in. It might come out. There we go. Push it all the way in, and then start. Off you go. Just keep it nice and taut. Make sure this is all nicely taut in. There we go. And when you get to the end of the line, excuse me, knocking you out. There we go. And just do that all the way around. And when you come to the corner piece, make sure you pull this back, because you're not going to be able to pull it once it's stuck in there. And make sure that it's just short of the panel, and just slide it in. You will be able to just slide it in, just give it a jiggle. It will go in. We'll try and fight you a little bit. Just, there we go. It's gone in. There we go. Done. And that is really it, guys. Completed. Done. Right, I think we can consider this job done for today, and I suppose the grand unveiling has got to happen. Let's just remove the tape and reveal. Woohoo! Yes. Oh my goodness me. Yes. Now it looks like a gear. There. Get out. It's got some sort of a static film. It's a static film, as they usually are. Just need to get it going. Oh, didn't cut that one as nicely. Lovely. Far better. I mean, ignore this, I'm going to sort this out, hopefully. I think it needs some thinners. I think that's a polishing stain, so we need thinners. There we go. All good. That is looking amazing. Oh, I didn't peel it off at the end. That was really silly of me. Come on. There we go, it's gone. Just a reminder to actually peel it off at the end. That looks absolutely amazing, and that bumper's cleaned up so nicely. We've still got some flecks of paint, but it's looking absolutely fabulous. This is so satisfying. That has transformed the look of the back of the car. The thing is, I think I might have bowed it out a little bit. It just looks a bit curvy for me. I'm not quite sure why, but it is stuck down really evenly. Maybe it's just the light, but I might have gone a bit low and a bit high. I think that's why. Yeah, I might have put it a bit low. I think I might have to bring that back up and move it up a little bit. That was the only problem with me doing it that way. But it just looks amazing now. That is how it's supposed to look from the factory. Really, really nice. Brilliant. Just makes me feel so much better about the car itself, and it just looks absolutely amazing. Go away. It's the problem when you clean it. This tree, by the way, is a nightmare. I'm thinking of getting the landlord to cut that down, because it just rains on whatever car sits here, which is why the car cover is so imperative. And no damage. That car cover has not damaged this roof whatsoever. It's not done anything to the car. So I'm just so impressed with that. And that bumper has cleaned up with a really good bit of paint thinner. Just to actually get a good surface. That is ripe for some vinyl and rubber cleaner, but yeah, that looks really, really nice. I think the boot is open because I have put some of my stuff in the boot, my emergency tools, because we're going on a journey, and it will happen in the next episode. Well, for you, that will be possibly in 6 hours time. I'm going to make this a 12 o'clock episode. And then it will be coming out later. For those of you who are catching up, it doesn't make sense of what time this video is coming out, but this is one video. It's just a bit of prep work and how to do your side strips. So if you have an LX or a Gear Fiesta Mark III, then that's the way you do it. But anyway, next episode, getting this car out for the first time. I can't wait. I'm doing it now. Take care.